Hi, and welcome back to MyExcelOnline.com. Today we are going to do a video for you to introduce you to digital note-taking in Microsoft OneNote. If you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel and Office, join our Academy online course and access more than 1,000 video training tutorials so that you can advance your level and get the promotions, pay raises, or new jobs. The link to join our Academy online course is in the description. In order to launch OneNote on your PC, you can go down here to the search box and just type in OneNote, and the icon should appear up here. Now, you may have a different version of OneNote than me. Right now I'm using OneNote for Windows 10. This comes with Windows 10, but you may have a different version, maybe the one for 2016 that came with Office. And the layout is a little bit different, but the functionality should all be there. So I'm going to click this button here to launch Microsoft OneNote. So first, I would like to start going over the structure of OneNote because we will be hitting that really hard today. So up here, on this part of the screen, is what is known as your notebooks. So what is a notebook? A notebook is just like that 3-subject notebook that you probably used in school, where it has a cover on the front, and then you have the section dividers, and then you have pages in the notebook. So think about this as this is the actual notebook itself. So if I click on here, I have a couple different notebooks here. I have one for home, and this is like everything home, my shopping, my tasks, my home projects, everything related to my house. I have one for work, so this would be for all of my projects I'm working on at work. And then I'm going to go down here to add new notebook. And let's just add one called college, because this is going to be for getting my degree in college. So I'm just going to hit create notebook. And now I can see over here in my list of notebooks, I have an additional notebook called college. Now, if I wanted to color code my notebooks, I could right click here and go to notebook color. And let's say I would like to make my house projects blue. I'll keep my work yellow and my college red. And this more notebooks link right here, this helps you sync up with anything that you've created online on office.com using OneNote. So if I clicked on there, I could see that I still have a notebook out there called school. Maybe that was my high school notebook, but I'm not going to add that one at this time. I just wanted to show you that that one's out there because I had created it on office.com. So let's select my college notebook. And let's say this is my first year of college. I need to think about how I want to section off this notebook. So obviously the 5-subject notebook or the 3-subject notebook, those have a limit to how many sections you can put in there. But because this is digital, you can have a ton of different sections inside of your notebook. So let's say I would like to divide my notebook up by semester. So I'm going to right click on here and go to rename section. And I'm going to call this one semester 1. And over here would be my pages for each course. Now it seems like I might want some more organization within this, and I'll get to that in a minute. But for now, let's name our pages right here different courses. So if I click on this page, let's say I'm taking stats. And then if I right click over here and I go to new page, let's say I'm taking world history, new page, chemistry, new page, intro to computers, and then let's right click here and go to new page. And let's say my final class is philosophy. Okay, so those are my 5 courses that I'm going to take on semester 1 of college. So now you might be asking, well, this doesn't really help me. Am I going to click here and take notes on all of my stat classes every day here? Well, that's where the subpages come in. If you are liking this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button to get notified when we release our weekly videos. So if I right click on stats, I can go down here to this option for new page below. And let's say I would like this to be week 1. And these are just all the notes I'm going to take on week 1 of stats. So if I right click on week 1 over here, I can go down to this option that says make subpage. So see how week 1 is sort of indented under stats, and stats now has a downward arrow? If I click off of my week 1 page and I click on this arrow, I can expand and contract everything that I have under stats. So if I want to add a week 2, I could right click here and go to new page below. And because this was already indented, this will be indented as well. So let's call this one week 2. And then over here, I would take all my notes for week 2 in stats. And hey, since we're on the topic of stats, let me just remind you that on the insert menu up here, you can put some equations in for math right here. So this is really great at taking notes on all subjects. So you could use these math note takings not only in stats, but you could also use them in your chemistry class. So what if during week 1, not only do I have these notes right here, but let's say I also have a page from a textbook that I would like to include in my notes because I'm going to need to study that page, and I have an online textbook. So if I right click here on week 1 and I go to new page below, and I'm going to put textbook examples and hit enter, and then click on week 2 and right click on textbook examples again, I can make a subpage again. And I can do this indefinitely. I can have many, many, many levels of subpages. So this is something you definitely don't get in that 5-subject notebook. Let's say I would like to put my textbook example in here. So let's say this is the page that I would like to put inside of my notes. I'm going to right click on this page and hit web select and just select some of the page and go to copy. And then I'm going to alt tab back to OneNote and right click here and go to paste. And you can now see that the entire page of the book has been pasted inside of OneNote. Now if I go up to draw and I select one of these pens, and let's say I right click here and go to modify tool and I make this pen red, I can hit this touch screen right here because I happen to have a touch screen, and I can draw right on my notes, and I can just circle parts that I would like to remember inside of my textbook pages. And then if I go over here to new window, I can see week 1, and these are my notes, and I'm just going to put them in there. And if I wanted to, I would be able to move this window around and simultaneously see my notes from the class and the page from the textbook. So this would be really, really helpful when studying for a test. So again, I'm going to close this and show you one more time. It was under new window, this button up here, and then just select the other page you want to see, and then you can move that window around and see both pages at the same time. So a couple other helpful tips over here. You can search through your notes, and let's say I just want week 1 notes, and it will show me any page where I've written week 1. And also I can click this button and I can see any recent pages that I've been taking notes on. Unfortunately, in this case, we just created all of these, so they're all showing up, but you can see how this would be helpful further on into the semester when you want to take notes on the last page you've been taking notes on. So hopefully that gives you a good introduction to how to do digital note taking. I hope you do really well in your semester if you're using this for class. But you can also use this for house planning projects, any of your projects at work, etc. The possibilities are endless. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Thanks again for watching and see you again next time. If you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel and Office, join our Academy online course and access more than 1,000 video training tutorials so that you can advance your level and get the promotions, pay raises, or new jobs. The link to join our Academy online course is in the description.
If you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're really serious about advancing your Microsoft Excel skills so you can stand out from the crowd and get the jobs, promotions and pay rises that you deserve, then click up here and join our Academy online course today.